Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I thought I'd do a bit of a, update video to start off 2024, new year for the channel and whatnot. And so I thought I'd just give you a bit of a rundown on what's happening in and around the shed and whatnot. First of all, I want to say a massive big thank you to those of you who tuned in the first year. So I only started this channel, last year, hasn't even been 12 months yet, and the viewer base has sort of grown probably beyond my expectation, which is great. So I can't thank you guys enough for tuning in, liking and sharing and doing and commenting and doing all those great things to help the algorithm out. It really helps me, and hopefully you guys get something out of it as well. I guess the reason why I started the channel was to, show the world, you guys as viewers, that anyone can have a crack at these backyard restorations. You don't need to be a qualified welder or a qualified mechanic or qualified panel beater or anything like that to do these sorts of restos. Everything that I'm doing is not out of the realms of the majority of people out there. So I'm not a panel beater or a mechanic or anything myself. Whatever I haven't picked up, I jump on YouTube and I have a look for those sorts of things. So yeah, I guess that's the reason why I sort of started the channel, is to just give you guys a bit of inspiration, and please feel free to comment on all the videos and ask questions, and we'll develop up a bit of a community in that as well. So smash some comments down there about if you've got any questions on particular things that I'm doing or anything like that. Happy to move the content to what you guys are looking for in that as well. So yeah, I just want to start off by saying a big thank you to everyone that's tuned in this year, and hopefully we can continue to grow into next year. I guess first thing is to just apologise for the bit of lack of content for the last probably month or so. A few things have happened in and around the place. I've had a bout of pneumonia, so I'm only just getting over that. So basically all of January I was down with pneumonia. We also had a big rainstorm come through a couple of weeks ago and just took out a heap of fences and whatnot. So I've been doing a bit of maintenance around the yard as well as having pneumonia. So those sorts of things have hampered me from actually being out in the shed, and obviously I've got a business to run as well. So maintaining client relationships and doing the actual work and whatnot. So a few things at play. But I guess probably one of the main reasons why there's sort of been a bit of lack of content is there's a bit of lack of, the Australian car manufacturing industry, or the parts manufacturing industry at the moment, it just seems, I don't know, we just seem to be having some issues with delays in shipments and delays in building parts and whatnot. I don't know, I've got 3 projects on the go at the moment, and all 3 are just held up, just waiting on parts. So it's been an exciting day today. I've got a really big order delivered today, so I've got all the independent front and rear end for the EH build that got delivered today. So I've been waiting on that for a couple of months. Now obviously, that's a full custom build product, so fair enough that there's going to be delays in that. But I guess I'm probably disappointed in some of the other companies out there at the moment that are sort of the volume-based stuff that should be just pumping, and there's just delays in that as well. So anyway, it is what it is. But that's sort of contributing to a little bit of downtime on these projects. Like I can't get through the projects as quickly as I would want to, and then therefore I can't then record and produce the content for you guys and that. So anyway, hopefully that's coming to an end shortly. I've been waiting a fair while for different parts and pieces and whatnot, so hopefully that's coming to the end now. So the first things first is I'm going to be smashing into these independent front and rear end on the EH, but I'll talk about that a little bit later on. I wanted to do like a 2024 what to expect type video. I've called it the state of the shed address. Obviously taking off the State of the Union address that the President of the United States gives every year. So I just wanted to sort of set expectations on what you might expect from the channel this year, and what's happening in and around and whatnot. So the first thing is, I'm not doing this full time. This is literally just a hobby, and it's a pastime. And you know, as I said, I'm building these cars. I love building these cars in the shed. I love restoring them. That is a passion project of mine that I spend, you know, most weekends and some nights, and I've actually structured in such a, my business in such a way that I can actually work on or work out here at least a day a week, right? So it gives me time to be able to cut footage and put up some footage for you guys and that as well. So it's not a full-time thing. So that being said, I'm trying to keep on a schedule of maybe once a fortnight, content coming out, you know, once a fortnight. So that's the plan. I've got obviously the big build series happening at the moment. So we've got the EH build, which where we're up to is it's still obviously on the rotisserie. Now I've got the independent front and rear end. I can throw those in. I take off the rotisserie, throw those in, start to fit up the engine conversion and do those sorts of things, so that I can then work out where my final cuts are going to be in the floor pans and all that, so that I can finish all the rust repair, and then we can put it into primer and then do all the body work and yeah, etc, etc. So yeah, I've been waiting for those bits. Now that I've got those, it should be full tilt ahead on the EH project. Sometime this year, the little Jimny behind me, so that's going to be my daughter's car. So we bought it for her. So she's only 13 at the moment, but she wanted to build a car with Dad. So we're going to start a daddy-daughter project. Now that one's going to be, we'll start it this year. So we'll start, you know, pulling it apart and teaching her all about car maintenance and cleaning out, and you know, doing all the sanding and rowing back and doing all those good things. But that'll be a sort of a slower build process. So obviously she can't drive it for another 3 years yet until she gets a learner. So we can sort of take our time with that. But yeah, that's going to be a good one, the daddy-daughter build. So bring your daughter along for that one. Yeah, being able to pass on and share knowledge to your kids is something pretty cool, and the fact that she wanted to do it off her own bat is something I'm pretty proud of too. So that should be a good build. So we've got the EH, we've got the Jimny, and then the 80 series behind me. So got a couple of big trips happening this year as well. So heading into the because obviously I live close to the Vic High Country. So I'll be doing a couple of Vic High Country trips. I want to do like a huts tour and sort of show you guys around all the High Country huts, and maybe just do some of those sort of trips that you may not see necessarily on other channels, and that like they sort of focus on, you know, Billy Goat's Bluff and, you know, all those big areas in the High Country. So I wouldn't mind showing you some of the hidden spots in the High Country as well, that you may not necessarily see. But we've got a big trip planned in June. We're doing Tassie. So a group of mates and I, we're going down to Tassie, minimum 35s, twin locks. You know, these are proper trucks going down there, because we are tackling $1,000 track, the Coldstream River track, Climby's track, Lake Cumberland, all those really super difficult, Ring River Road, Ring River track, all those difficult ones in winter. So lots of rain, lots of water, lots of mud. Should be interesting watching. So yeah, that's a big trip coming up in June. And then once I come back from this, or once I come back from June, because I've sold 45 series, so I've sold Sandy, or I'm about to sell Sandy. The money that I've got from that, I'm now going to do an engine conversion on the 80 series. I haven't made my mind up yet on what engine I'm going to put in there, so if you have any suggestions, or if you would like to see a certain engine put in there, make sure you put something in the comments below. I'll have a read through those and we can come on to it. I'm thinking I'm thinking along the lines of either a 1VD or a Coyote. The LS has been done. It's, you know, I'm not a great fan of the Cummins or the Duramax, but I want a V8 as well. You know, the other option was to, you know, put a BMW engine in it. But again, yeah, I want a V8. So anyway, tell us what you think. Put something in the comments, whether I should go Coyote or whether I should go 1VD or something else. But I want a V8. So that's going to be whether I start that this year or not. It depends how I'm going with the EH and the daddy-daughter build. But yeah, that's in the pipeline as well. So I wouldn't mind having a go at that. I guess the last thing as well is I am going to start doing sort of, I'm going to call it the Shed Secrets series, where I'll do an episode, you know, once a month or something like that, just going through different bits and pieces. So like to help you on your restoration journey in your shed. So some of the tools that I use and why I use them, you know, some techniques around MIG welding or TIG welding, or, you know, those sorts of things that I'm picking up, as I said, not as a professional welder or a professional mechanic or anything like that, just a backyard guy, you know, and what I'm picking up and what I'm learning in order to be able to help you do what you do as well. So yeah, Shed Secrets, keep an eye out for that. It's literally just going to be a full informative type talk, very much similar to this, rather than, you know, following a build series or anything like that. So bearing in mind across all of this, you know, I'm just a one-man band. Again, it's not a professional production. There's massive influencers out there that make this their full-time job, and they've got, you know, big production teams and people recording them and everything like that. At the end of the day, you know, I'm pretty raw with it all, and I'm still learning in that as well. So the video editing techniques and being able to present on camera and, you know, those sorts of, I'm still getting comfortable with it all myself. So yeah, bear with me on that. If you've got any tips or, you know, tidbits of information that you share to me, again, chuck it in the comments. You know, I'm keen to learn. I've always been learning. So I guess the last sort of part that I just want to touch on is there's a big announcement. So those of you who follow me on TikTok and Instagram, or follow the channel on TikTok and Instagram, will already know this, but for those of you who don't, I've been selected as a brand ambassador for Penrite Oil for 2024. So I'm very, very excited to work more closely with a great Aussie brand like Penrite. So you might see a little bit of branding here and there on the channel around Penrite. I've got an idea of doing like a Shed Secrets episode on different oil types and what they mean and you know, why it's important to be changing your oil and whatnot regularly. So yeah, I look forward to working more closely with Penrite this year, and I'm starting to seek those other opportunities and that in a similar way as well. I've always said if I can make some of the costs around here, you know, cost neutral, you know, I'm not in it for the money, or I'm not in it for, you know, to make it a full-time thing or anything like that. I'm literally just a simple guy out in the shed, you know, and so if I can bring on partners like that, like great partners that support the channel, and we can pass on information to you so that you can look after your car and you can restore your car, you know, and if it's using their products, perfect. You know, we all win in that situation. So yeah, very excited to be working with Penrite this year, and, you know, look forward to hopefully bringing on a few more and that through the year as well, because, you know, these sorts of channels don't exist without great sponsors and great partners. So and they certainly don't exist without great viewers like you guys and supporters. So a big thank you to you all, and looking forward to a big 2024 ahead, and thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to to like and subscribe, and obviously I would love for you guys to share this around and that as well. So anyone who you think would take interest in being able to restore cars in their shed, if even your mates who have been sitting on an old car that they've been wanting to do up for years, but they haven't had the time, or they haven't had the money, or they haven't, all these sorts of things, get them involved in the channel, because hopefully I can sort of inspire them to get out and actually put some runs on the board to be able to do their builds and that. So if you know of anyone like that, feel free to put them in touch with me, and I'll see if I can help them out in just getting them out there and enjoying it. So thanks everyone. We'll see you on the next video.